Hmm.
At the set altitudes, and they'll move with quite high fidelity. So if we have a look here at our A10, you can see our A10 flying over Kabul here, about to enter its orbit. And it's banking and updating it at high frame rates, just like any other VBS asset. And you can shoot these down. You know, these are VBS vehicles in their own right. They just have a new type of deterministic AI that's driving them around. So now we're going to create a no-fly zone. We do that directly in VBS Plan. We clicked on the no-fly zone icon, and we've just drawn this polygon. And that, of course, gives us a no-fly zone visible in both 2D and 3D.
Go ahead, put it into 3D. Toggle. Okay, it's toggling as a big old huge thing that's up there. It won't stay up there, but it's just like, hey, whether you're down.
And now we're actually going to call in the close air support strike. So we're going to do this while we're looking at the enemy. Accessing VBS Plan here, selecting the A10, and then running through the process to create the mission. So we're going to go with one aircraft. We're going to go through IP1. We're going to place a target. We're going to place the target directly on the BMP. Select target 1. We're going to egress to the south, and we're going to select a big bomb to drop on this BMP. And we'll clear hot to make sure the engagement actually happens. Now, what that's done is automatically create this flight path, and you can see that on screen. So the A10 is going to move from its orbit. It's going to go through IP1 and then drop a bomb. But it's moving through the no-fly zone, and we can fix that by changing the position of the spline at runtime. So that's what you just saw us do here. So we can actually have precise control over where the aircraft will fly, which is really important for this type of training. So the A10 now is going to move in, and it's going to drop a bomb. I'm going to accelerate time a little bit here just to get us over the target as quickly as possible. Time acceleration back to 1 times now. We've just crossed IP1, and we're going to release the bomb. It's very, very hard to see with this low resolution. Looking on the Apache, we haven't finished the Hellfire model yet. We have a model of a Hellfire, but not in this context. So you'll see the flight path here for the Apache. And because it's a helicopter, it obviously moves a lot slower. The flight path can be different. And again, we'll just accelerate time here. Different capabilities related to autonomous vehicles. And there's a bunch of text here, but I think what we'll do is just jump straight into the video just to show off what this looks like in game. And again, you're going to be looking at VBS3 here. So it's actually interesting to compare the graphics from VBS3 to VBS4, but keep that in mind. Everything you're seeing will go to VBS4. So here we have various autonomous vehicles that were created for this project. This one carries a stretcher, for example. Some of them have weapon systems. Just a quick example for a stretcher carry here. We're going to carry this body, increase time acceleration, and obviously we can just put the body onto one of the stretchers here. So these are fully functional autonomous vehicles. And then we can attach these autonomous vehicles to in-game player-controlled entities. So now the player is controlling all of these entities through their simulated handheld device or emulated handheld device. So we've just told these autonomous vehicles to follow the player. So you can see they're faithfully following the player around, all these little robots. And there are different ways we can control them. We can give them waypoints. So for example, here we're telling them to head over there and hold fire. So they're just going to move in formation towards that location. Tell them to stop. And we also support pre-configured waypoints as well. So here they're going to move to UGV West and then UGV East. So you can pre-configure waypoints that you then want to use within the scenario. And it supports both this kind of off-road artificial intelligence as well as convoy AI. So here's an autonomous convoy. It's moving extremely quickly, but we're giving a waypoint here to a convoy made up entirely of autonomous vehicles.
The real-world convoy trainers that they're showing here.
Now, it's also possible to drive the vehicles manually, so kind of a remote control capability with different cameras that you can use. So, for example, a wide field of view camera here.
5 minutes is the longest amount of time.
As well as other kind of camera support. So here we're going to use the cameras to back right up to a tree without running into this tree. Now, we've implemented a bunch of new logistics vehicles, built British logistics vehicles for this. But what's interesting for all of our VBS customers is that the autopilot capability that we built for this works on any vehicle. It'll become clear what I mean by that. But basically, you can, and it works with any type of VBS4 vehicle. And there was one other really minor change. We're almost at the end of this video. We've added that in the top right, you can see the situational awareness monitor for armored vehicles, which shows the direction of vehicle turrets. So that's also available now. It can be turned on, I think, on a per simulation setting basis. Okay, so that was GLAM. Lots of really kind of interesting work we've done there. And I just want to point out the pictures like this. I just wanted to give people an appreciation of the thinking that goes into designing a system like what you see with autonomous vehicles.
That was GLAM, right?
Okay, so I'll talk about the next 2 years, and then I'm going to hand over to Earl, who is going to give an amazing VBS4 terrain demonstration. So, look, within Bohemian Interactive, and I'm the guy in charge of the long-term roadmap, so I feel a bit bad. I don't have like an accurate 5-year roadmap. I certainly have aspirations for where we'd like to take VBS over the next 2 to 5 years. But the fact is that in addition to our own internal investment, our customers take VBS where they want to take it. And it's always been that way. So I've tried here to give you a good idea of what you will see from Lux Carter.
Let's get some hot stuff. I want to hear blabber about what's
small area of terrain in Africa. And first, I'm going to start by giving you some context for how we built this terrain. It's a little different than what we've been doing in the past. So just for the agenda here, we're going to look.
Things are built.
Me talking. So Earl, if you could come on, please. I'll give you a quick introduction.
Earl knows how to do some of these things in his area.
All right. Hey, welcome, Earl. So Earl is technical director at TerraSim, and he's going to take it from here to show you what's possible today with VBS4 and the world server. Over to you, Earl.
Okay. Thanks, Pete. So yeah, I'm going to be taking.
No, you're good.
Oh, sorry, good.
No, my bad.
All right. So I'll be taking you through a demonstration of a small area of terrain in Africa. And first, I'm going to start by giving you some context for how we built this terrain. It's a little different than what we've been doing in the past. So just for the agenda here, we're going to look at the current BISIM terrain products. And we're going to talk a little bit about the BISIM world server technology. We'll look specifically at the BISIM world server and LuxCarta Bright Earth integration that we've done. So that's the kind of use case that we're showing off today. And then we'll give you a bit of background on the area that we've built out and jump into a terrain demonstration inside VBS4. So first to start, just kind of a recap here. Obviously, Pete's been talking about VBS4. It's listed here as a sort of in my list of terrain products because it has 2 subcomponents or two items with it that are relevant. So first, in these bullet points here, VBS Geo is an editing mode that's inside VBS4. And when you purchase VBS4, you get a license to the VBS World Server, which is a separate installer. Okay. So that's these next 2 items here. VBS Geo being the kind of easy to use terrain editing mode for non-technical users. It lets you adjust the positions of roads, add in forests, kind of with a paintbrush type approach. Very easy to use. You don't need specific GIS training or anything like that to use it. I'm not going to be diving into that today. There's actually a second segment tomorrow where we'll be looking and taking a deeper look at Geo at the end of the VBS4 demos in tomorrow's day 2 sessions. So the VBS World Server, this is like
set this up for a minute because I know he's talking, I'm talking. I'm just saying that this is an editor. What does it say? Editor. It's still kinds of editors, but this one modifies the VBS environment. This one, Geo edit mode, World Server. This one, VBS setup, but it was saying that it hadn't. Okay, I don't see the editor in there, but it's saying it did. So let's, and then a terrain editor. So you got pieces, parts, all kinds of different things. Then you'll have a lot of stuff in there. Different content for different things. So
collecting GIS data, bringing it together in TerraTools, building out a terrain, and then exporting that terrain for as many different formats as you need, including VBS4. So that's kind of the starting point. These are all released products that many people are using right now. But what we're going to be looking at today is kind of focusing on what we can do, what else we can do with our world server technology. So we're looking at it as a framework, and these set of COTS tools or commercial off-the-shelf tools that we've just described. And we're finding some new ways to kind of link these all together with starts to kind of open up the possibilities for automated terrain building.
Comes down to it, you can't tell the difference.
This is use just a regular web browser and connect to the web server that's on our BISIM world server. So you're just using a browser, you connect to our server, you'll see a view of the planet. You can zoom in and then select the area that you want to have built. And what's going to happen is we will automatically send that request once they're using forces, and eventually a terrain appears in VBS4. So the area that we're going to be looking at is the town of Palma in Mozambique. So earlier this year was the site of an attack by Islamic State forces, and it's also nearby. There's a major natural gas development, and so there's been considerable changes to the terrain, and we're going to take a look at that here in a second. So there's a lot of new roads that have been built, a huge number of new buildings. There's an entire airfield that didn't exist as even just at the end of 2020. And then all of the associated land cover changes for areas of deforestation and those